Hello, welcome to my latest weekly newsletter. And this week we'll start with shop news, and we're still continuing with our great offers. We've got the £20 bag trade-in offer. So if you bring in your old golf bag, you can get £20 off any new bag in the shop. We've already done a couple of great deals on those. We've still got the free grip on your 7-iron offer still going on. So if you wanted a new grip or you wanted to try out a new grip on your 7-iron, bring that in, we can fit that for free. We've still got the ball promotions going on, the Strixon ball promotion, where you get 4 dozen for the price of 3, including free inscription as well as TaylorMade are doing it on their TP5 golf balls as well. Also this week we've taken delivery of our new Strixon equipment, new hats, new gloves, new Cleveland wedges. Cleveland are owned by Strixon. So we've got a whole new range of Cleveland wedges in and some Cleveland putters in as well. Lots of options in the Cleveland wedges. We've got 10 options available. So basically, how do you do a wedge fitting? Well, basically, first of all, number one, we decide sort of what wedges you want. We work out how far you hit your pitching wedge, and then we work out distances from there. So I carry my pitching wedge 125 yards. I then got a 50-degree wedge in my bag, which goes 110 yards. I've got a 54-degree wedge in my bag that goes 100 yards, and a 58-degree in my bag that goes 90 yards. So it fits in my distance as well. But also we talk about things like bounce as well. Okay, so the bounce all determines whether you're a kind of a digger and you take big divots out. You might want quite a high bounce. Whether you're you get a little bit shallow on it and you kind of pick the ball off the turf without a divot, then you might want a kind of shallower bounce, okay, with no bounce, zero bounce. It also depends whether which one of the clubs you're going to play out of the sand, okay, so I play my 54 out of the sand, so I've got quite a big bounce on that, okay, because I want the club kind of gliding through the sand, as opposed to if you had no bounce on it, it would kind of dig a bit into the sand, okay. On my lob wedge, my 58-degree, I've got very little bounce because I like to open the club face up there a little bit and play my flop shots, and I find that a lot easier with far less bounce on it, okay. So the bounce can vary from club to club, so I've got a high 50-degree, which is pretty standard bounce. I've got my 54, which is quite high bounce, and I've got my 58, which is low bounce. That's the way I prefer it when I'm playing my shots around the green. A lot of people just go standard bounce throughout. But that's where the bounce kind of matters to it as well, and we talk about the grinds, which is the same sort of thing as bounce as well, yeah? So if we're interested in a wedge fitting, we can go through all those options, okay, to see, number one, how far you hit each club and fill the gaps accordingly, but also what clubs you like to use out of the sand, what clubs you like to use around the greens, what sort of clubs you like to play the big high flop shots with. All those considerations come into it, okay? So if you want to book yourself in for a fitting, we've got lots of Cleveland options there. They run out at kind of £120, but we can do deals on those. If you buy 3 wedges, basically you can have £100 a wedge. Okay, we've also got the TaylorMade wedges in stock, as well as the Titleist Vokey in stock, as well as the Ping Glide 2.0 wedges as well. Right, okay. Next we'll move on to tournament news, and on the PGA Tour, a fantastic week for the Europeans over at Bay Hill, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, where Francesco Molinari came in and won. He shot a fantastic 64 final round to beat Matt Fitzpatrick, the Englishman, young Englishman, to second. Rory McIlroy also played in the last group, but he struggled again. He's now 0 for 9 playing in the last group, going on to win. So he's struggling to win tournaments at the moment. He's not won since the Arnold Palmer last year. So yeah, Rory McIlroy continues to have Sunday problems despite playing in the final group again. But yeah, Francesco Molinari shot a fantastic 64 to beat Matt Fitzpatrick by 2 shots. Also, Matt Wallace, another Englishman, was up there as well. He bogeyed the last 2 holes just to fall away a little bit, but it was a great week for the Europeans. I think out of the top 6 players, there was 5 Europeans involved. So yeah, a good tournament. This week we've got the US PGA Tour goes to Sawgrass, the Players Championship, the so-called 5th major. Tiger Woods is back playing after his neck injury, and all the big stars will be there. I think the top 50 in the world are going to be there, so it's a fantastic event. So I look forward to watching that over the weekend. It's now 4 weeks until the Masters starts. The US Masters starts in 4 weeks' time, so we're going to get our sweepstakes set up and ready to go. That'll be £3 a square. The Masters field is only limited to 90 players, so we'll go £3 a square with the winning get £100 onto their account. Come in and buy your square before they sell out, which they always do very quickly for the Masters, like I say, because there's only 90 squares available because it's a small field event. So, right, next we're going to move on to coaching news, and we'll talk about Francesco Molinari. Obviously, he's had a great success over the last year. He's won the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth. He followed that up by winning his first tournament in America. He then went obviously on to win the Open Championship, the biggest event of all, and then obviously last week he won the Arnold Palmer Bay Hill Invitational. So what's changed in Francesco Molinari's game? Well, a lot of things really. Number one, he's improved his putting no end, but more kind of psychologically more than anything. He's got Dave Aldred involved, who's a performance coach, works very hard on the psychological side of things. So he puts a bit better these days. But his coach, Dennis Pugh, has worked hard on his golf swing, and they've tried to hit it further. He's always been a fantastic ball striker, but never hit it particularly very far. Very straight, but not very far. To compete at the top level, you need to hit it a long way. There's no getting away from it, unfortunately. The odd short hitter wins the odd tournament here and there, but predominantly the top 10 these days are dominated by big hitters. So Dennis Pugh went and consulted a coach to Joe Miller, who's a long drive world champion, and he took a few tricks off him and able to help Molinari hit it further, basically. And what they've done, you can see it in Molinari's coach. He was very kind of standard turn, no real movement. He used to swing it kind of 3/4 back and kind of 3/4 swill. There wasn't much turn available, but now, okay, you'll see Francesco Molinari, and he kind of really gets his back to the target. His golf club's almost going over his shoulder, past parallel, which is considered a very long golf swing. He kind of lifts his left heel up to kind of let him do that, yeah? So he's making this massive, great big turn these days to enable more club head speed, which is a great little tip. There's not many big hitters who swing it short. There are a few about, but they're fantastic athletes. Tony Finau being one, and JB Holmes another. They swing it very much 3/4, but they're very athletic through the ball. The rest of us have to do it by kind of range of movement. If you ever watch Joe Miller, Google him. Joe Miller, long drive champion, hits it 400 yards plus to win these long drive championships. You see his golf swing. He swings it all the way around here, all the way around there. There's so much turn and twisting and body movement. He's kind of jumping up on his feet when he hits it as well. He's using the ground upwards. All the laws of physics. So basically, if you want to hit it further, you need to swing it longer. There are exceptions, but generally the written rule is if you swing it further, the ball goes further. Yeah? John Daly, classic example. Where does John Daly swing it to? Right round here. Bubba Watson, where does he swing it to? Right round there. Yeah? I could go on and on and on. Phil Mickelson swings it long round there. He's 49 years old and he's still bombing it out there. Yeah? Generally, the further you swing the golf club, the further ball will go. Okay, there are exceptions, but if you find you're struggling for distance a little bit, don't be scared to give yourself a little bit of a turn on the way back and let the left heel come up, as in Francesco Molinari. Let those hips turn, let those shoulders turn, let that body turn back, ready to unwind on the golf ball. I'm not a great believer in the resistance thing. There was a resistance thing in the golf swing 5 or 6 years ago when people were trying to turn their upper half without turning their hips. Well, actually, that led to a lot of hip problems, okay? A lot of back problems have been caused by that kind of chain of thought. But yeah, if you want to hit it a long way, make sure you turn those shoulders back, get your back to target, let those hips turn if you like as well. Let your left heel come off the ground a little bit as well on the backswing to wind up that body. You'll hit it further then. Take a leaf out of Francesco Molinari's book. Right, okay, next we'll move on to competition news. Not an awful lot of competitions this week. There was nothing at the weekend. I must have a weekend off, which I did. I went and had my little boy's birthday, which was fantastic fun. But last week we did have the local alliance. Last Thursday the men did have their local alliance competition where Galston, as always, had great success in that competition. Jack Flaxman and John Hotwood ended up winning with a fine 42 points in tough conditions. Well done to you two, beating Greg Carter and Mr. Cook. I've forgotten your first name, sorry. They came second with 41 points. Well done to you two. Great golf there. Graham Laverick and Bob Hassel came third with 40 points. Keith Wright and Ray Pope came fourth with 40 points as well on countback. And Mike Haylett and Richard Reynolds completed a clean sweep of Galston golf clubs in the prizes by picking up fifth with 39 points. But well done, Jack, and well done, John. A great victory that. Okay, we should also mention on Monday the seniors had their Hod Salva Trophy semi-final, and they ended up winning. A fantastic result that is. They won by 10 holes, beating Barbara. And every team won, okay, so every pairing won. That's a fantastic result for them. So they're now through to the final. The final is going to be played at Eton Golf Club on the 23rd of April, okay. They're not sure who they're playing against yet, because the other semi-final hasn't been decided. But if you can get over to Eton on the 23rd of April to lend your support to the Hod Salva team, that'll be fantastic. They'll never so well, it's a Norfolk and Suffolk thing. So they've kind of to get to the final, beat all those clubs out of Norfolk and Suffolk is amazing. So yeah, if you can get over on the 23rd of April to Eton Golf Club to lend your support, I know they'll be greatly appreciated. Barbara brought about 20 players over on Monday to support their team. Unfortunately lost for them, but yeah, we won. But there wasn't that many supporting the home team, so let's make a big effort on the 23rd of April and try and get over and support. Next up, we'll go on to fixtures for this coming week. So Thursday the 14th, it's men's midweek Winter Stapleford as per normal. Nothing on Friday the 15th. The ladies got a coffee morning. If any of you fancy going along to that, 10 o'clock. On Saturday the 16th, there's nothing on either. We did have a mixed foursomes penciled in, but that's been cancelled now. Also been cancelled, actually, should say, is on Friday the 15th. We had the night golf scheduled for that, but unfortunately, due to lack of numbers, we've had to cancel that again. Very disappointing. It would have been a great fun, great laugh, really. But we're going to try it again in the autumn, I think, potentially, and this time we'll invite guests as well, because we just had it open for members. Obviously, didn't get the support that we thought we would do, so this time we'll open it up to guests as well. So yeah, we're going to do that in hopefully the autumn. And then on Saturday, there's nothing on Saturday. On Sunday the 17th, we've got the Tottenham Turner Mugs shotgun start 8:30. So the golf course will be closed till about 12:30. On Monday the 18th, the ladies have got an away match, so that doesn't account to us. On Tuesday, nothing on Tuesday. And next Wednesday, we've got the ladies' divisional medal going out between 9 and half 11. Right, okay, that's everything for this week. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all over the weekend. Bye-bye.